Hello everyone. In this video I am going to explain one important phenomenon of nuclear physics called radioactivity. The content I am going to explain in this video are as follows. What is radioactivity? Why radioactivity occur? Discovery of radioactivity, types of radiation and their characteristics, different units of radioactivity, types of radioactivity, and will derive an expression for law of radioactivity, decay, and half-life of radioactive elements. So now we'll start with definition of radioactivity. What is radioactivity? Radioactivity is the process of spontaneous disintegration of the nuclei of heavy elements with the emission of radiation. So it is a process of spontaneous disintegration of the nuclei of heavy elements with the emission of radiation. In other words, we can say it is a process by which an unstable nuclei converted into a stable nuclei by losing energy in the form of radiation. Example, 92 uranium 238, which is unstable nucleus, will become a stable nucleus by emitting alpha particles. One more example is carbon 14, which is unstable nucleus, will become a stable nucleus by emitting certain radiations. So this process of conversion of an unstable nucleus into a stable nucleus by emitting radiations called radioactivity. So what is the reason for this radioactivity? The main reason for this radioactivity process is instability of the nucleus. What is the reason for instability? As we all know that a nucleus is composed of protons and neutrons, and they are held together by a strong attractive force called nuclear force. But only certain combination of the neutron and proton ratio in the nucleus seems to be more stable than others. Example, the nucleus which contains even number of protons and even number of neutrons is more stable when compared to the nucleus which contains odd number of protons and odd number of neutrons. So that means here certain combination of protons and neutrons makes nucleus stable. So the reason for instability is more excess number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. When number of protons and neutrons increases in the nucleus, the electrostatic force of repulsion dominates over nuclear force. So that is why the instability of the nucleus is main reason for radioactivity. The heavy elements above atomic number equal to 82 show the phenomena of radioactivity because of more number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. The emission of radiation changes the structure of the nucleus and transforms the atom into a lighter atom. So even excess of neutrons makes nucleus instability. So this is a reason for radioactive process. This radioactive process is discovered by a French physicist called Henri Becquerel in the year 1896. During his studies of phosphorescence, he found that uranium nucleus or uranium mineral darken a photographic plate even if the plate was wrapped. And he concluded that uranium mineral emitted a new kind of radiations. He named this process as radioactivity. For this discovery, he got Nobel Prize in the year 1903, and he shared this Nobel Prize jointly to Pierre Curie and Marie Curie for the discovery of polonium and radium. This radioactivity process is unaffected by external agents like temperature, pressure, physical properties, and chemical properties. So it is independent of temperature and pressure. or we can say external agents. So what are the types of radiation which are comes out of the in the process of radioactive decay? So there are three radiations. One is alpha particles, second one is beta particles, third one is gamma rays. What are alpha particles? Alpha particles are fast moving helium atoms. The energy range of the alpha particles is about mega electron volt. Due to their large mass, they are stopped by just a few inches of air or a piece of paper. The charge of the alpha particle is positive. Beta particles, these are fast moving electrons. The range of this beta energy of the beta particles is about some hundreds of kilo electron volt to several mega electron volt. Since electrons are lighter than helium atoms, they are able to penetrate further through a several feet of air or several millimeter of plastic or less of very light metals. So your penetrating power of beta particles is more than penetrating power of alpha particles because of less mass when compared to alpha particles. The charge of beta particles are negative because beta particles are electrons. The charge of electrons is negative. So both alpha particles and beta particles are affected by electric and magnetic fields because of this charge. So gamma particles or gamma rays are photons just like light except of much higher energy. The range of this the energy range of these gamma particles from several kilo electron volt to several mega electron volt. X-rays and gamma rays are really the same thing. The difference is how they were produced. Depending on their energy, they can be stopped by a thin piece of aluminum foil or they can penetrate several inches of light. That means here, because of this high energy, the gamma particles having more penetrating power when compared to beta particles and alpha particles. Here you can see penetrating power of different particles, alpha particles, beta particles and gamma particles. In this figure, by observing this diagram, we can conclude that the penetrating power of gamma particles or gamma rays is more when compared to alpha particles and beta particles. So these these radiations are affected by electric and magnetic fields. Suppose if the alpha particles, gamma particles and gamma rays are passes through electric field through a electric field, then beta particles are deflected towards positive plate, alpha particles deflected towards negative plate because of positive charge, whereas the gamma particle never deviated towards either positive plate or negative plate because of uncharged nature of the gamma particles. It does not affected by in the presence of electric and magnetic fields. So these radiations have plenty of applications in different fields. So gamma particles or gamma rays are used in the treatment of cancer. They can be used to kill the microbes, and this radioactive radiations are used to find out age of the rocks and used to in carbon dating. So these are some applications of these radiations. So what are the units of this radioactivity? The SI unit of radioactivity is becquerel. 1 becquerel is defined as 1 decay per second. So other units of radioactivity is Curie and Rutherford. What is the relation between 1 Curie and 1 becquerel is 1 Curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 becquerel, whereas 1 Rutherford is equal to 10 raised to 6 becquerel. These are all different units of radioactivity. Now we will move on types of radioactivity. There are two types of radioactivity. One is natural radioactivity, second one is artificial radioactivity. What is natural radioactivity? Natural radioactivity is a radioactivity in which emission of radiation due to self disintegration of a nucleus. Whereas in case of artificial radioactivity, the emission of radiation due to disintegration of a nucleus through induced process. Natural radioactivity is a spontaneous process, whereas artificial radioactivity is an induced process. Natural radioactivity cannot be controlled, whereas artificial radioactivity can be controlled. So these are some differences between natural radioactivity and artificial radioactivity. The elements which exhibits this property of radioactivity, those elements we call it as radioactive elements. So here some example for elements of natural radioactivity. So uranium 92, uranium 238, thorium 234, and there are some example for artificial radioactivity. Artificial radioactive elements such as aluminium, boron, nitrogen. Here aluminium interact with the helium atom will become a phosphorus by emitting one neutron. So this is an example for artificial radioactivity. So mainly there are two types of radioactivity. One is natural radioactivity and second one is artificial radioactivity. So these are all example for natural radioactivity and artificial radioactivity. So here in this table you can see some of the radioactive elements. Artificial radioactive elements are shown in red letters. So what is law of radioactive decay? The law of radioactive decay states that the rate of disintegration of radioactive sample or radioactive element at any instant is directly proportional to number of undisintegrated nuclei present in the sample at any instant of time. Or in simple words we can say the law of radioactive decay states that the rate of disintegration of a radioactive element is directly proportional to number of nuclei present in the sample. So the rate of decay or rate of disintegration can be represented by dN by dt. So where n represents number of atoms present in the number of nucleus present in the sample. N represents number of nucleus present in the atom. So the dN by dt represents rate of disintegration. dN by dt represents rate of disintegration of the sample is directly proportional to number of nucleus present in that sample. So if I remove that proportionality constant, we can write dN by dt is equal to minus lambda into n. Where n is number of undisintegrated nuclei present in the sample at any instant t, and dN by dt is the rate of disintegration. Minus sign indicates that number of nucleus in the sample decreases by disintegration process. That is the significance of negative sign. So this dN by dt is equal to minus lambda n can be solved by the method of variable separable method. So we can solve this differential equation by variable separable method. So if I integrate the differential equation dN by n equal to minus lambda integration of dt, we'll get log e n is equal to minus lambda t plus c, where c is constant of integration. So by applying limits we can find out the value of c. What are the limits here? Limits are when t is equal to 0, number of atoms present in the sample is n naught, n is equal to n naught. That means that before radioactive process, number of atoms present in the sample is n naught. N naught is the initial number of initial number of nucleus or a nucleus present in the sample before disintegration. At time t is equal to 0, n is equal to n naught. So if I substitute t is equal to 0 and n is equal to n naught in the equation number 2, you will get c is equal to log e n naught. By substituting the value of c in the equation second, you will get log e n is equal to minus lambda t plus log e n naught. We can rearrange this equation equal to log e n by n naught is equal to minus lambda t. So applying antilog and antilog, you can write this expression as n is equal to n by n naught is equal to exponential of minus lambda t. So this n by n naught is equal to exponential of lambda t can be written as n is equal to n naught exponential of minus lambda t. So this is the equation of radioactive decay. N is equal to n naught exponential of minus lambda t, where here lambda is disintegration constant. What is lambda? Lambda is disintegration constant. So this is defined as lambda is equal to dn by dt whole dividing by capital N. So that means the disintegration constant of a radioactive substance is defined as the ratio of the number of atoms of the substance disintegrated in unit time to the number of atoms of the substance present at the time of disintegration. So lambda can be written as ratio of dn by dt and capital N. So lambda indicates that how fast the sample disintegrate with respect to time. So that is the significance of decay constant. So this equation n is equal to n naught exponential of minus lambda t can be represented by like this. So if you draw n versus t, n is number of atoms left after radioactive process in a given time t. So the nature of graph is like this. At time t is equal to 0, n is equal to n naught. At time t is equal to infinity, the number of atoms present in the sample is 0 at infinity. So that means number of atoms in the sample decreases exponentially with respect to time. So number of radioactive atoms of a given radioactive substance decreases exponentially with time. This means that the rate of decay of substance decreases exponentially with the time. Now we will define one more term called activity. What is activity? Activity is defined as the number of radioactive atoms in undergoing nuclear transformation per unit time. So activity is equal to, simply we can write activity is equal to minus dn by dt. Number of atoms undergoing nuclear transformation per unit time. That is called as activity. So this activity is equal to lambda n. A is equal to lambda n. So remember this expression, A is equal to lambda n. So this is a definition of activity. A represents activity. So expression for half-life. What is half-life? So this equation n is equal to n naught, we call it as n is equal to n naught exponential of minus lambda t. This equation call it as Rutherford-Soddy equation. So from this equation n is equal to n naught exponential of minus lambda t, we can define half-life of radioactive element, where n naught is number of radioactive atoms present at the time t is equal to 0 and n the number of atom at time t is equal to t. When t is equal to capital T, small t is equal to capital T, the half period of the radioactive substance, then n is equal to n naught by 2. When t is equal to capital T is half-life of radioactive element, then n will become n naught by 2, half of the initial atom. So then substitute in place of n naught by 2, and in place of small t substitute capital T. So we will get 1 by 2 in place of n, 1 in place of n naught by 2 equal to n naught exponential of lambda capital T. So n naught get cancelled on both sides. So we will get 1 by 2 is equal to exponential of minus lambda capital T. So we can write this as equation. Capital T can be written as 2.303 log 2 dividing by lambda, or we can write approximately capital T is equal to 0.693 dividing by lambda, where lambda is disintegration constant. So this is a relation between half-life of a radioactive element and decay constant. So capital T, we can write T of, that represents half-life of radioactive element, equal to 0.693 divided by lambda. The determination of half-lives of a various radioactive substance is very useful for geologists for estimating the age of mineral deposits, rocks, earth and fossils. So this is how we can define half-life of a radioactive element. So what is the expression for half-life of radioactive element? That is equal to T is equal to 0.693 divided by lambda. So this is a relation between half-life of a radioactive element and decay constant. Thank you.